Well, a very good evening to you and welcome to RTV News with me, Fiona Mbabazi, and of course I'll be joined by my guest anchor shortly. Now, while students in Rwanda commend the level of technology now being incorporated into education sector to help them with their studies, experts believe a specialized institution should be created to further boost this initiative. We do have the details with Serge Nore.
Esperance Mbabazi is a student at Mount Kenya University, and she and other students at other universities have been using technology like video conferencing to study, and they say they have become accustomed to this method. When it was first introduced, we were worried that our tuition fees might be increased, but that did not happen and we were relieved. It costs the same whether you study online or go to the university. The online method is not expensive depending on who is using it and how they are managing their time, respecting the sessions when they begin and end. My transportation costs to school can be up to 1,000 Rwandan francs per day. Yet online, I do not spend more than 200 Rwandan francs for the megabytes I need. However, problems do exist, like poor internet connections. ICT innovators also commend the efforts the government has made when it comes to the use of technology in the education sector. We are happy that the government and other stakeholders put in a lot of effort to sensitize parents and students that there is a lot of knowledge to be gained online. There are many programs to connect classrooms, things like Giga Connect, one laptop per child, and Connect Rwanda. Yes, it does sound like digitalizing the entire country, and it all supports the notion that ICT-based education should have another impact. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown the world, not just Rwanda, the importance of developing a strong ICT-based education sector, and experts believe a specialized institution should be created to further boost this initiative. The government should put in place an established system when it comes to learning using the internet by forming a dedicated institution for that. You will find such institutions in other countries, like the Open University of Tanzania. I believe in Rwanda such an institution is also required so that we can overcome the emergent stage in the process. Researchers are also calling for gender equality not to be ignored in the process. During the recent bandwidth meeting hosted by UNESCO, President Paul Kagame explained how Rwanda has been doing exactly that.
The disruption of in-person classes has exposed more than ever the gap in digital access, skills, and online learning for all children, especially girls. We have the opportunity to re-engage in the cause of girls' education so that they are not left even further behind. In Rwanda, we continue to make significant investments in digital infrastructure and training for our young people. For example, the Rwanda Coding Academy admits 50% girls and aims to resolve the shortage in engineers through a focused engineering program at high school level. Centers of excellence in ICT, including Carnegie Mellon University, Africa, the University of Rwanda, and the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences, have dedicated scholarships for female candidates.
Other efforts by the government to boost technology in the education sector include supplying laptops to all students in the country and the establishment of smart classrooms in every school. Experts believe that such drives should be supported by initiatives to reduce the cost of internet connectivity and the devices needed to make that connectivity possible.
Now, some residents in cells where large numbers of people tested positive for COVID-19 this Friday say that the testing exercise will help them know of their status. Kapi Muvunyi has more.
The Rwanda Biomedical Center results of the COVID-19 mass testing indicate that some cells have a high rate of positive cases, indicating an average positivity rate of 5 to 10%. The highest number of infections was recorded in 25 cells in Gasabo district, 16 cells in Kichichiro district, and 4 cells in Nyarugenge district. This has led RBC to conduct another mass COVID-19 testing exercise in Kigali for the second time.
Uyu munsi rero twagiye muri utwo tugari twagaragayemo Today, we went to various cells that recorded high positive cases to see how it is after 5 or 6 days from the beginning of the lockdown. This helps us to identify those who are infected, and we are able to advise them on how to conduct themselves to avoid the virus from further spreading.
Some residents of the cells that recorded a high number of positive cases say this exercise will help them determine their status and to know how to conduct themselves. It is good and we're happy because a lot of us were worried if we're positive or not. Therefore, this exercise will help us know our status. As a community, we're content with this program.
I'm happy because I was tested and my results came out negative. I was advised to continue protecting myself from the virus. I encourage fellow Rwandans to contribute the fight against this pandemic.
About 15% of the population in the cells with the highest positive cases were tested. Dr. Albert Twishime, the head of RBC's Institute of HIV, Disease Prevention and Control, says this mass testing exercise is in place to ensure those that test positive are facilitated before they get critically ill.
When we find out that someone has tested positive for the virus, they are educated about prevention measures in their homes to ensure they do not infect those they live with and how they should take care of their health so that the body can fight the virus until they are cured. There is also some medication that we are giving them that helps the body fight the virus.
The figures from the mass testing exercise will give the picture of the prevalence of the coronavirus in the capital city and the 8 districts under lockdown. These figures will be taken into account when other measures are given to fight the pandemic. Gabi Muvunyi, reporting for RTV News.
For that story. Now in Rubavu district, Busasamana sector, COVID-19 patients appreciate the way their neighbours took the initiative to cultivate crops for them so that they can stay inside and heal quickly from this virus. Jane Mutuni has the details.
Busasamana sector is known to be a food basket due to its climate and its healthy soil, hence bearing enough produce. But on one hand, due to the farmers that are infected with the COVID-19 virus, their neighbours around are cultivating crops on their behalf. Hitimana Jean-Baptiste says they are determined to cultivate for those that have been infected with COVID-19 virus so that they do not miss out on the cultivation period as they prepare to plant potato seeds.
I
felt like taking the initiative to cultivate for them so that when they get better, they will know that we were there for them. Right now we are prepping the soil for planting, and when the cultivation period arrives and the seeds are not enough, we shall provide the seeds because we want them to know that they are not only in a country with security, but also with neighbours that do care for them. In addition to the initiative, they also deliver food to them, such as potatoes, beans and fruits, to their homes with the help of health counsellors. These patients say they appreciate this gesture from their neighbours. I thank my neighbours for not only cultivating for me, but also bringing me food so that I don't go outside and infect others. And when I recover, that's when I can be among others. The Executive Secretary of Busasamana sector, Vano Etienne, says residents have raised more than 250,000 Rwandan francs to buy fruits for the COVID-19 patients, along with food in addition to the food donations provided by the government to support families affected by the total lockdown. In each village, residents contribute food and deliver it to COVID-19 patients because we don't wish to see any patient lacking food. Health counsellors visit them and advise them on a daily basis. He points out that currently the community has cultivated for 6 families and that the work will continue so that every COVID-19 patient who is unable to take care of his or her agriculture activities will be assisted by his or her neighbours. There are currently more than 40 COVID-19 patients in Busasamana sector. Jane Mutoni, RTV News.
Traders and buyers in Gakenye market, which are accusing each other of breaking the COVID-19 prevention guidelines. Now, the local authorities have warned the violators, highlighting the failure to adhere to the preventive guidelines, which have resulted to penalties. Although the COVID-19 preventive measures have been tightened in Gakenye district, traders in Gakenye market argue that non-compliance to the regulations is due to the deliberate violations by the customers. Consumers who shop at the Gakenye market, on the other hand, say that the COVID-19 prevention guidelines are not being properly implemented at this particular market. Now, the manager of the market, Mawazo Welars, says that they are ready to work with youth volunteers to help continue educating the people on the importance of adhering to the guidelines and targeting those that choose to violate these particular measures. The mayor of Gakenye district, Nzamwita Deogracius, stressed that the preventive measures apply to everyone, and those that choose to violate them shall be sanctioned. Now, in order to ensure that the market traders do not exceed the 30% capacity, Gakenye market has divided this market into 3 sections, which is the food items have been relocated in Nema and Mbuga sites, while other vendors have remained in the main market. Now, cross-section of taxi motorcyclists say that the fact that the insurance costs have tripled over time has led to some of them operating without insurance, a practice officials at the Special Guarantee Fund says brings loss to the government. Now, according to the motorists, the prices shot up from 45,000 to 153,200 Rwandan francs on motors that are in business for at least less than 5 years, while 200,000 for those that have gone above these particular years. Now, head of the motorcyclists say they are now looking into ways of creating their own insurance firm as a way out. In a press conference in May, the governor of the Central Bank of Rwanda, John Gwangomga, explained that the issue of rising insurance costs for motor vehicles, including motorcycles, was being looked into, and that a survey is ongoing and findings will be announced at the end of this year. Now, to date, there are currently more than 46,000 taxi motorcyclists in Rwanda. To help matters, those in need of medical services in Muhanga district are happy that specialist doctors are now available in the area compared to before, when they would have rather come to Kigali to get such services. The Muhanga district administration says the increase in the number of doctors and clinics should go hand in hand with better services to those who seek them.
Those seeking medical services in Muhanga district say the increase of private clinics in Kigali secondary cities is reducing the number of medical visits to Kigali and reducing the number of patients in public hospitals because most citizens now own medical insurances. The specialists in our area are the same specialists that one can find in Kabgayi District Hospital, which is why I believe that we have good medical services. The heads of private clinics point out that the demands of their patients are the reason for the variety of services, such as COVID-19 care services in Kigali's secondary cities, and other services are being provided, especially during this period. Doctors find that the increase in the number of specialists in public and private hospitals is also one of the reasons why services are getting closer to the public than ever before, although there is still a long way to go in this regard. In Muhanga district, there are 5 private clinics and Kabgayi Hospital in total at the district level, and a construction of hospital in Nyabikenye district is underway. The Deputy Mayor for Social Affairs, Mukagatana Fortini, emphasizes that despite the medical care achievements in this city, that it should go hand in hand with quality service. All I request is that quality service should be provided to every patient, and that goes for both private and public hospitals in a way that they attend to incoming patients 24/7. Figures from the Ubudehe program showed that Muhanga district has a population of about 360,000, where more than 155,000 people live in 4 sectors of the city out of the 12 that make up the entire district. The need for medical services is likely to increase as the district that borders Ngororero, Ruhango, Kamonyi, and those from Karongi and Rutsiro can go to Muhanga clinics. Jane Mutoni, RTV News.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Yvonne Buravan, and let's go to the international scene. Distraught victims of Germany's deadly floods have been returning to their homes to begin the cleanup effort. South of Cologne, some of the town's 50,000 residents have lost everything in the last week's disaster.
How was the experience being a news anchor tonight?
I want to know what people think. Because as where I am, they have approved.
Yeah, clearly. So who is Buravan?
Okay, Buravan is a Rwandan artist who is fighting for a revolution in music. Okay, first of all, I'm a musician. So I think the Rwandan music has some potential, so I choose to be someone who believes in the Rwandan potential, and I work for that. So I'm on that project now.
How did you start singing? When did you know you have this talent?
I started singing when I was young in a choir at my neighborhood in the church. I wasn't the main singer. I was always on the third row.
Really?
Yeah, but I always used to listen to other singers and be like, I think I can do that. But I wasn't sure because nobody at home had done music before. So I didn't know I'm qualified to be someone who would know something about music. So with time, with loving it, I ended up getting to be familiar with it, getting to understand it, getting to create my own. And it's when I was 20 that I started to do music professionally, like a solo artist.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you write your own songs?
I do write my own songs.
All your songs?
Yes. I mean, up to now, so far, I've written all the songs I've released. But maybe I think it's always okay to leave a room where if anybody has a song, I would sing it. Yeah.
Speaking of inspiration, what inspires you? Because this particular song we just played, it's a modern fusion of, modern music, traditional. I think it's the fast way of singing in the country today.
I mean, yes, I think it's that potential I was talking about that Rwanda has in its cultural and traditional music. So I look at it as a kid or as one of the youth of today. So I know what's out there, but again, I choose to mix it with what identifies me as a Rwandan, so that even the music that I make get an identity.
What do you feel about the creative space we have in the country today?
The creative space, I'm very proud of it because right now it has a lot of talent, but I would advise other people that are not only musicians, are not only singers, to get into the industry so that we get everything packed in the space. Yeah, so that even the music industry gets to grow.
That's true. Collabos. Most people dream of collabos, big collabos with westernized artists. Who's your dream collabo? What would you want to do your collabo?
Dream collabo, maybe the artist I used to love way before I even started, and that was Bruno Mars. He's a good artist. I think he's a good artist. Working with him would be a cool thing, but I always do collabos with a great artist. Last few months I did an EP of 3 songs with 3 collabos. That is Foreign Affairs. That was the name of the EP. So I would actually invite people to go and stream it on all platforms, music platforms.
If you had to do it again, would you do it? Would you go through music, or would it be something different today?
110%. I would do what I do now. Yeah.
Albums. Take us through your albums.
Albums. So far I have 1 album. called The Love Lab.
Yes.
Yes, that I released in 2018. I'm preparing to release another album, the second one, that will actually be released this year. So, yeah, but albums, they are coming and they are lit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. One of my favorite particular songs is Oya. Ivan, what's that thing we don't know about you? We know you're a musician. We know, you started from a very young age singing. What's the thing that people don't know about you?
That thing people don't know about me. What is it? I mean, with social media, we get to, put everything out. But I would say before I was shy. I was actually like shy to go in front of people.
Oh, really?
And it ended up being my job. So I think that thing, I never mentioned it. They always see me on stage rocking it. But, before it was...
You were very shy.
That's actually why I was always on the third row in the choir.
Wow.
Yeah.
But can you cook? When we said the Guma Murugu, everyone was like, oh, we can't cook. We prefer to have Can you cook?
Okay, I can cook, but, I'm not that good.
First of all, those who are watching us, the young ones who are watching, who want to follow your lead, what would be your advice to the young ones who are watching, and to even anyone else who wants to try their hand at music today?
Okay, first, learn how to cook. But, what I would say to youngins who would like to do music, to be successful in whatever they are doing, because, again, I would tell them they should not look at it into one perspective. Yes, I can be successful in music or do my music and it goes the way you would like for a musician to go. But for youngins, I would advise them to first look what they know, what they are talented into, what they are passionate about, because that's the one thing that you will do and keep on doing it until it gets to be what you want it to be.
That's true. Passion always leads the way. Well, Rubavu, thank you very much, man, for making time to be with us. We've had a lovely evening, of course. Maybe as we sum up, coronavirus is still here with us. What would you tell our viewers?
Stay home as long as those in charge keep on finding a solution of everything, and be the solution yourself. Stay away, like it's social distancing, like everything that we are asked to prevent this virus. Please, let's do it and stay safe.
Absolutely. Well, you heard from the man himself. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Of course, my name is Fiona Mbabazi and have been joined by Ivan
Buravan.
Have yourselves a lovely evening. God bless and stay safe.